missing persons case linked to a Dignity Health hospital and its backlog of human remains.
A lawsuit just filed reveals more disturbing allegations.
The lawsuit claims not only did the hospital fail to notify Tanya Walker's family after she died, it alleges the hospital actually donated Walker's organs even though she wasn't an organ donor. At 51 years old, Tanya Walker died at Dignity Health's Mercy General Hospital in November 2023. But the family says the hospital never notified them and didn't issue a death certificate until 5 months later. So the family and detectives searched for Walker all that time. Now the family says they're suing. The lawsuit also alleges that Dignity unilaterally made the decision to make Walker an organ donor and then without any permission whatsoever harvested her eyes and tissue. On top of Dignity Health, the family is suing the off-site morgue that Dignity has been contracting with to store bodies for months or even years after patient deaths. The lawsuit alleges the company failed to properly store Walker's remains by failing to embalm her body and refrigerate it at the appropriate temperature. It also states a permit is required by law to store a body for more than 8 calendar days, and that the company held Walker's body for 5.5 months before finally getting that permit.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again to y'all with another video. Hope y'all having a very great day. Hope y'all having a very great week. My day is going absolutely blessed. Big shout out to all the channel members and subscribers to the Trey King Show family, and much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, we have a story out of California by way of Sacramento. And big shout out to everybody in the great state of California, everybody outside the great city of Sacramento. Now, before I start this story, I want to send a special thank you out to my channel members and also to my subscribers for sending me this story. And also, keep these stories coming. And now you all, I need you all to put your thinking caps on today and ask yourself, is there any dignity inside of this hospital in Sacramento that goes by the name of Dignity Health? And now, for those who don't know what dignity means this right here. The state or quality of being worthy of honor or respect, a sense of pride in oneself, self-respect, a high or honorable rank or position. Now ask yourself, family, when you hear this story plays out, do Dignity Health have any dignity in them? Now, for those who haven't heard this story is very troublesome. But at the same time, I need you all to answer this one question. How could a hospital get by with such negligence? And also adding to that point, where is the California Department of Public Health at? And why are they not enforcing the rules upon Dignity Health? Because if they was doing their job, guess what, family? We would not have a story. And now this situation is even more troublesome because, as you all know, as we live, one day we all must die. So we must take this situation very seriously. And I'm sure Dignity Health in Sacramento, California is not the only hospital in America that is doing this type of behavior. Now, one has to ask themselves also, what's the purpose of being a hospital if you're not going to take care of the patients right? Now, recently it came out in the news, and thank you to the families for speaking out, because if it wasn't for the families speaking out, we would not have no story. So thank you to, number one, to Tanya Walker's family, and also thank you to 31-year-old Jessie Peterson mom for speaking out. Now, Dignity Health has been plagued by issues for a long time, and they are also facing several lawsuits where the family is stating that the hospital is negligent and also the hospital was lying to them. And more than anything, as in the case of this story right here with Tanya Walker, the hospital took her organs, where her skin and her eyes, without the family consent or permission. And no, Tanya Walker was not an organ donor. Now ask yourself, family, why would a hospital do that? But Tanya Walker's case is not the only case that has been plagued by issues dealing with Dignity Health, where we have 31-year-old Jessie Peterson, who went to Dignity Health for having a diabetic episode on April the 6th. And she stayed in there for roughly 2 days and everything seemed normal. Now, Jessie Peterson called her mom April the 8th of 2023, and she told her mom to come and get her. But the mom told her daughter to stay in the hospital because that's the best place for her to stay where she can get the care that she needs. But little did the mom know that her daughter would be dead just roughly 2 hours later. Now, what makes it even more troublesome is the fact that the mom did not even know her daughter died. And no, the hospital did not contact the mom. The hospital did not say anything. The mom had to reach out to the Department of Justice and also to the sheriff's office, where she found her daughter just a year later. Listen to this.
Jessie suffered with type 1 diabetes and was regularly treated at Mercy San Juan Medical Center. Ginger says in April of 2023, Jessie was admitted to the hospital.
She wanted me to come and pick her up. She wanted to leave the hospital, and I told her she was in the best place to get the best care that she needed. She needed to stay put.
Ginger called the hospital back after a few days to check on her daughter and was told she was discharged.
They said they didn't have anybody there by that name, and I asked them to double check because I'd just seen her a week before and spoke to her on the telephone, spelled her name for them. The man on the phone said, we don't have anybody here by that name.
And now, family, as you all heard Jessie Peterson mom state, she stated that after she talked to her daughter April the 8th of 2023, she waited a few days and called back to check on her daughter to make sure everything was okay. But guess what the hospital had the nerve to tell her family? They told her that her daughter was discharged against medical advice. So to all my people out there who's familiar with the medical field, and also whoever been to a hospital or a doctor's office and they check themselves out, what does that mean? That means the person that was supposed to be sick or having some kind of diabetic episode, which Jessie Peterson was, they saying that she checked herself out. But that's not what happened. Jessie Peterson was dead. So that goes to show you that the hospital, Dignity Health, flat out lied to the mom. And the mom had to reach out once again to the sheriff's office and the Department of Justice. Listen to this.
A sheriff's detective informed the family that Jessie's body was found at the hospital and transferred to a cold storage facility.
And now, as you all heard the news reporter state, the reporter stated that after the mom and also the Department of Justice and also the sheriff's office was looking to find Jessie Peterson, they found her at the very hospital. They said that she checked out of, but guess what? Jessie Peterson was dead, been dead a whole year. So you mean to tell me this hospital, Dignity Health, did not know that Jessie Peterson was dead? Think about that, family. And also, why would you lie to the mom and say the daughter checked herself out? And that's why I asked you all in the beginning of the video, do you think Dignity Health have any dignity? And that's why I explained to you the definition of what dignity means. And now let's begin.
It all comes down to one public record required by law, a death certificate. And this is yet another example of what happened when a Dignity Health hospital didn't get that taken care of in time after one of its patients died, leaving the family and law enforcement in the dark.
And now, as the reporter stated, it is California law that when a person passes away in California, they have to have a death certificate made within 8 days. So why is it taking so long for Dignity Health to make sure these people are having death certificates? And some of these people has been dead, family, for roughly a couple years and also for several months. So what's going on in the state of California inside of Dignity Health Hospital where they cannot follow the rules? I mean, what are they trying to hide, family? It seems to me it's more than meets the eye in what's going on inside this hospital. But let's continue.
We went searching and we started making flyers.
Where was Tanya Walker?
Not knowing is the hardest thing. We had posted several times, TikTok, Facebook, any social media platform we could.
Family and detectives tried to find out.
We were really investing a lot of resources into Tanya's case at the time.
Trying to find someone who was never really missing.
And now, family, think about this. Imagine you searching for your loved one, your brother, your sister, your child, mom or dad, anybody that's related to you or that you have love for, and unbeknownst to you, that person is already deceased. But the hospital know that person is deceased, but they're not relaying that information to you. So let me ask you all this. How would you feel if you find out the truth that your loved one was already deceased and the hospital know they are deceased, of course, because they died at the hospital, but the hospital never reached out to you, never relayed any information to you? But guess what, though, family? It gets worse. Let's listen.
The 51-year-old also had kids of her own.
She has 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys.
It was just before Thanksgiving in 2023 when the family reported Walker missing.
She's never missed a holiday. She was there every holiday. So we were just waiting for her to come there for Thanksgiving. And when she didn't show up, we knew something's really, really wrong.
And now, Tanya's case is a very strange case, but at the same time, true enough, as her family stated, and also what the news media have said, that Tanya Walker was homeless, but she did have a car that she slept in. But they also say that she was having some kind of drug problem or whatnot. But that didn't stop her from keeping in contact with her family and also her children. And also, she would come by on holidays. So they go to show you, no matter what Tanya Walker was going through, she still was trying to be there for her family in the best capacity that she could. But guess what, though? None of that did not matter to the hospital because the hospital had ulterior motives. They had something else they wanted to do. And that's a damn shame that you cannot even go to the hospital for help. And also, when you're at the hospital, they're not relaying the proper information to your family. And that's why, family, you all must make sure that you check on your loved ones when they go inside of these hospitals, because a lot of people going to these hospitals and not coming out. Let's continue.
So roughly how long were you investigating this?
In Tanya's case, we were investigating it for roughly 7 to 8 months.
An investigation that came to an end in a way no one expected.
It was May 30th. The detectives called in.
They learned Walker suffered cardiac arrest and died here at Dignity Health's Mercy General Hospital all the way back on November 2nd of 2023. But the hospital didn't issue a death certificate until April 15th of 2024.
Like, oh my God, like, what? Why weren't we notified?
That means the family reported Walker missing 2 weeks after she had died at the hospital.
They could have actually saved us a lot of heartache.
And now, as the reporter stated, Tanya Walker died at Dignity Health Hospital on November the 3rd of 2023. But the hospital failed to notify the family of her death, left this woman at the hospital for a few weeks, and then transferred her body to a mortuary, an off-site mortuary, where this mortuary has over dozens of bodies stored at, which are all being unaccounted for. And also, some of these bodies been at the mortuary, as you all see this list on the side of me, for a few years and also for a few months. And if anybody know anybody on this list, you may want to go get your loved one and probably take care of them. But you got to ask yourself this one simple question. Why? Why are they keeping these bodies? Maybe it's something they want from the bodies, but we'll get to that part very soon. Let's continue.
After Walker died, the hospital stored her body here at an off-site morgue called Cremations Only.
Just to know that she was sitting at a morgue for 7 months and no one notified us, it was just heartbreaking for us to, why couldn't anyone tell us anything, So I think that's more of what has me so angry.
Now the family is suing since learning they were not alone.
So after hearing what Tanya Walker family member had said, why do you think the mortuary nor the hospital did not contact the family of Tanya Walker? Why did they fail to do that? Can somebody please answer that for me? And also, what would you have done in this situation? Will you pursue a lawsuit? Because I know I would. Because one thing about it, you got to make these people pay, just like they make you pay when you go there to get treated and whatnot, because nothing is free in this life. We understand that. So in the same breath, you have to apply the same rules to them, because they are the ones that's supposed to be looking out for people when they get sick and cannot properly take care of themselves medically. Let's continue.
Dignity Health had a backlog of dozens of bodies, patients kept at a morgue without any public record of their death, in some cases for years, even though California law requires a death certificate within just 8 days.
And now, as the reporter stated, family, and as you all see this list, how can Dignity Health, along with this mortuary, get away with what they are doing? Where is the California Department of Health at? And also, where's the oversight committee at that's making sure these people are following by the rules and procedures? What is going on inside of California where these hospitals are failing to do their job? Now, let me ask you all this. Why do you think these bodies, once again, are being stored at the hospital and also stored at this mortuary? What would be the purpose? What would they have to gain? Let's find out. Let's continue.
This case appears to be a callous disregard for Dignity's patients and their families.
Her body was in the worst condition you can imagine.
Walker's family says they were forced to cremate her.
And now in closing, the reason why Tanya Walker family was forced to cremate her was because they took Tanya Walker's eyes and also her skin tissue. Now let me ask you all this, because I'm not a doctor or anything like that or a nurse, but why would a hospital take a patient's eyes and also their skin tissue, especially when they're not even an organ donor? And also, why wouldn't a hospital contact the family to get consent so they can take said organs? What is really going on? So do you think Tanya Walker is not the only victim inside of this hospital, in this mortuary, that have had her organs taken? Because I guarantee you, allegedly, that she is not the only one. Because what would be the purpose of taking this woman organs, her body parts, if you all wasn't trying to do something with it? So in closing, maybe there was a strong reason why Dignity Health, along with the mortuary, wasn't contacting the family. Because I'm very sure they have received multiple phone calls from the family along with law enforcement trying to find these victims. So why didn't they come forward and tell the families and also the law enforcement the truth? Why would a woman have to reach out to the Department of Justice and also to the sheriff's office just to find her daughter? Why would the hospital say that daughter checked herself out the hospital, but the whole time the daughter was dead at the hospital for a whole year? And also in Tanya Walker's case, why would this same hospital take her eyes and take her skin tissue, knowing Tanya Walker was not an organ donor? And also, why didn't they contact the family to get consent? So can you all see maybe Dignity Health does not have any dignity? Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this story. If there's anything I may have missed or misinformed, which is not my true intent, please let me know in the comment section, or you can email me. We can talk about it more there. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Also, share the video with your family and friends. Till next time, you all stay blessed, and I will see y'all soon on the next Trey King Show. And guess what? I'm out.